Hey, once again, what's up, YouTube? You already know who it is, man. Look, I'm so tired of saying that. This is your girl KDI, blah blah blah. Let's get moving. Tina Knowles. Now, if I can find the video clip free of other commentary, I will include it so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. But if I can't, it'll just be a picture if I can't get it together. But in any case, for those of you who know and some of you who do not, Tina Knowles did an interview recently on the OWN channel with her husband and her husband Richard Hawkins. And it was a kind of a long interview, but there was one specific part of that interview that kind of went viral. And the part of the interview that kind of went viral is where Tina was explaining how, she had prayed for a good man with all of these qualities and so forth and on. And her husband was sitting right there with her. He was listening to her. And she says, now, is he perfect? No, absolutely not. But, and she continued to talk. And the look on his face was just like, excuse me? So he says, I'm not? And she's like, of course not. And then she continues to talk. And the look again on his face was one of like, I know this bitch ain't say this shit on national motherfucking TV and embarrass the fuck out of me. That was the look on his face. I'm hopefully I can find this video, because if I found the video, it would have played before I began to speak. But in any case, ladies, I need you to listen, and I need you to listen well for the young ones, the older ones, the ones in between. This is how you don't treat your man, especially in public. This is how you don't talk to him. Now, is it true that he isn't perfect? Yes, it's true. And how can I say that? Because no one is perfect. I'm sure he's not perfect because no one is perfect, no matter how good your relationship is or how bad. No one is perfect. She didn't need to say that at all, actually. She was doing good when she was just saying, I prayed for these qualities and that quality and blah, blah, blah. And I pretty much got what I prayed for. I pretty much got the man that I was asking the Lord or whoever she prayed to for. She really didn't have to mention the imperfect part. If she had to mention it, if she wanted to mention it, she should have said something along the lines more of, he's not perfect and neither am I, but we make each other happy. That's take the bite out of that. You know what I'm saying? You have to take the teeth out. You can't bite. You have to take the bite. Even out of a statement that on the face is a true statement. It's a general statement. But your delivery, and coupled with the fact that this was public, this was televised. She's a celebrity, sort of. And I think he is too. To a certain degree, I think he is as well. And the rest of the sidebar, and the rest of the other part of that interview, she mentioned that he was 70. That man looks so good for 70. Black do not be cracking. But anyway, ladies, this is how you emasculate your man. Couple of ground rules, and I covered these things in the marriage series. Couple of ground rules. When you are public, especially when you're public, you can almost get away with certain stuff privately. But publicly, with your husband, your man, whatever, you are never to embarrass him. Just like you don't want to be embarrassed. You don't want him to say things that would embarrass you or cast you in any light that could even be perceived as negative. And that statement, the delivery of it, the fact that it was public, the fact that it was an interview, all of these factors made that statement, which would in any other setting would probably not have affected him, became a shot. And it became embarrassing for him. And she did not even, and she's too old to not have these sensibilities. She did not even have the wherewithal to backtrack or make nice and say, oh, baby, I'm not perfect either. I mess up too. And, cover it because you didn't even have to say that. You see what I'm saying? If she just would have kept with the positive statements, none of this would be an issue. And the ride home is probably going to be hell. Because the reason he didn't say anything is because he doesn't want to blow up on television. That's why he made that look and he didn't say anything, because that pissed him off. It embarrassed him and it pissed him off. I know that pissed husband look. All husbands have it. I don't care what you look like. All husbands have that I'm pissed at you, but I'm going to keep it quiet for right now, but you're going to hear about this later. That look. It's almost like getting a whooping later. You remember when your mama, you threaten you getting a whooping when you come back from school. That kind of thing. And you dread the whole day because you know there was a whooping. That look. All husbands cultivate this look. It happens spontaneously and suddenly. They suddenly get the superpower to make this look. So he was making that look. I know this bitch ain't sitting up here saying this motherfucking bullshit. This bitch here, that was his look. And you really can't blame him, because the way in which it was said, it was like, oh. It was, she bit him. She bit him on television. You're never supposed to bite your husband in public. Especially in public. You really shouldn't do it in private either. But if you're gonna do it, it's best that no one is around to witness this. And that way, he'll probably still be pissed off, but at least he won't have that element of, she emasculated and embarrassed me just now. Like in front of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've said this before, women, the only thing that you can truly hurt on a man, that you can truly just shatter, and all it takes is a few ill-placed words and phrasings, is his ego. You can break him. You can just break him. And by the way that she was talking, you could tell that she was oblivious. I don't think that she meant the harm that she actually did. I don't think she meant to emasculate him. I don't think she meant to embarrass him, but she did it anyway. And she did it anyway because this is the socialization. This is just women are just allowed to, they can just say whatever, and you're not supposed to reply or have a rebuttal or whatever. It's easy to say something off kilter or offhand about even the man that you are married to. And it's to be blown off, as nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It isn't anything. And in her mind, it wasn't anything. I guarantee you, in her mind, that nothing was wrong with that. She probably did not have any malicious intent behind it. But see, that's the thing about word placement, and it's such a delicate thing. That's the thing about it. It doesn't have to have malicious intent in order to be hurtful and embarrassing and emasculating. It doesn't have to have ill intent. You don't have to have intended to break his ego or wound it. All that it takes is that you did it. And that's all that he's gonna even recognize. You not having malicious intent doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. You think it means something. So that if he brings it to you, you'd be like, well, I didn't mean nothing by it. And to you, ladies, he should let it go. But for him, hurting his ego is like him hurting your feelings. He's not going to be able to explain to you that that was not malicious. Your feelings are still going to be hurt. You see what I'm saying? So his ego is still going to be wounded. Even if you say, well, I didn't mean anything behind it. And you may be telling the truth. You might have not really have meant anything. I've made that misstep before. It wasn't in public, but I've made that misstep before with my husband, say something. And to me, it wasn't a big deal. To him, it was a blow to his ego. I didn't know that until he said it to me and said, okay, well, why did you say that? I know you didn't just say that. What the fuck was that? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, no, don't play dumb. Don't play dumb. You said blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And by the tone and by how he was even coming at it, I recognized, oh, I stepped on his ego. Like I stepped on it. And I didn't mean to step on it, but I did. And so now, you know, I have to address that because I've stepped on his ego. Just the same as he would say something offhand. To him, it meant nothing. To me, my feelings were crushed behind that. And I'm like, but you hurt my feelings. And the expectation was that he was to apologize and redress it. So it's the same. You see what I'm saying? It has to be a reciprocity there. If I wound his ego and he says, hey, you know, what was that? I am to apologize and I am to address it and then be mindful going forward that that statement and these types of statements or what have you, they wound him. And so I have to be careful. So this is just, you know, just a microcosm of what happens when you're not watching what you say and when there's really no consequence of things that you say. You can't just say anything to your men. You can't just say anything. You see what I'm saying? You have to be mindful. Don't be sorry, ho, be careful. You see what I'm saying? Don't be sorry. Be careful. All right. There we go.